Welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest, and we've got an emergency call out. A vehicle's not starting. It's a Nissan Titan, I believe. We're gonna head up here and see if we can get it running. All right, here we go. We're gonna go get some brake pads first on the way up there. So we'll be stopping by AutoZone, and I've got a brake job to do after this. So not sure if that'll make it in this video or if it's interesting. Maybe it'll be its own video. But then we're gonna head up the hill just above AutoZone and get this car running, or I guess this Nissan Titan, or figured out could be a fuel pump. They said they thought it was low and put some gas in it, and then it still wouldn't start. So I asked them if it was parked on an incline. It's apparently not parked on too much of an incline, so it's probably not the issue, but we'll figure it out. Fuel related or something. They said it's cranking, so just not starting. So I've got my nice scan tool from Launch here that I've been using, and we should be able to get this bad boy diagnosed well with this scan tool. Here we are. Nice being so close to AutoZone. And we'll be right back with those brakes and then get this figured out. All right, so here we are in the truck. I've got my scan tool. We're gonna plug this up first and see if anything's going on. You know, we may clean up some terminals and stuff too. Depends on how well it sounds like it's cranking and how corroded those are. I know people love that, but I'm telling you, it's a big problem out here in this dry desert. So see if we got anything here on the computer. See if we can hear the fuel pump while we cycle the key on. I don't hear the fuel pump, but it could be just that it cranks whenever the key's on, or it could just be far enough back there where I can't hear it. So let's pull up some diagnostic software here. I'll have to screen record one of these. I've got to do a diagnosis again tomorrow, so I'll download that screen recording software. You can get a good look at this scan tool, but I've been liking it. Okay, so we've got 3 fault codes on the engine here. Well, we're doing a whole system scan. We're at 8%, so we'll wait for that to finish, and we'll see. Maybe we've got a bad sensor here. I've seen throttle position sensors maxed out. That will, you know, put it in clear flood mode. Camshaft position sensors, those are the 2 most common that'll cause a no start when it has a healthy crank like this. So we'll let this finish up. It'll be a few minutes, and then we'll see what those 3 codes are there. Okay, we've got 6 codes for the body control module. That's not going to cause a no start. And we've got 3 on the engine, lock mode, difference of key. So I've seen this before. We could have had this key causing an issue here. And on Nissans, I wouldn't say it's super common, but I've seen it most recently on a Nissan as well. So that's interesting. Let's read those fault codes. Yeah, lock mode, difference of key. Let me make sure this guy's using the right key here. But that looks like that's so interesting that it's happened twice on a Nissan, and I'd be very surprised if they had a separate key. So maybe we need to look at this key again for him. Okay, well, I'm not sure if this is the key he's been trying to start it with. Here we go. Okay, well, I didn't have to do anything there. I wonder if he was using a different key. And if not, maybe I'll tell him to get another key and see if we can get 2 for him in case this one's having issues for whatever reason. Maybe he can just get a new key. We're getting start signal, so let me ask him if this is the key he was using earlier. All right, well, I'll let you know what that guy says about the key he's been using. Man, I just can't make this stuff up. This is the exact same situation as the other day on that like 2 or 3 day in the life episodes ago I did, where it was a Nissan as well and they're using a different key. So apparently they've got a different key for it that had been cut and wasn't programmed to the truck. That's what they were trying to start it with. They ended up switching to this key, but it might have been in a lockout mode, an anti-theft mode, so it didn't start. So we're gonna see if we can program that other key for them real quick. Okay, 2 other keys here. This one should work. Okay. This is the key. Yeah, that was that purple one. This is the one that was trying to be used this morning. Okay, so it may lock it out. It may have flooded it if it was giving it gas but just not spark or something. So I went back to a key that should work and it doesn't. So it did probably lock it out because you used the wrong key. So yeah, so it'll probably be 30 minutes, but I should be able to set it up with my computer here so that they all 3 work. So then after that, it wouldn't have an issue. So. Right, here we are. Man, that's so interesting. It's like the exact scenario that we had a few months ago, Nissan and everything. So let me see if I can pull up here in my menu the lockout on this. I know there's intelligent key, but I don't think that's what it was. See if I can find it again. But anyways, now it locks it out. You could see there I started it with the other 2 keys, but then when I tried to start it with this one, it wouldn't start. Then when I went back to this one, it wouldn't start. That's what they did this morning. This one wouldn't work. And then so they're like, okay, let me grab my original key, and that still wouldn't start it. So it has a lockout, looks like just a safety measure so that, you know, even if you have the wrong key, it shuts it down for a while. So probably about 30 minutes, it'll keep that from working. Goodness, that took me forever to find the anti-theft system. I was looking under system selection. Finally, I went all the way back through, and it's the Nissan anti-theft system, but it's actually in the main menu. So anyways, that's what we want to get that key going if we can do it here. Key registration. Let's register a key. All right, I thought I didn't need all their keys. He has one more. Let me go grab that. All right, here we go. I've got all the keys. There's 4 of them. I think you can register up to 4. So let's do this. Well, anyways, I guess this truck's new enough to where they've even got extra security. So this actually has some encrypted pins and stuff. I don't get into all that stuff, so probably something I'd have to call the dealership over. They have 3 other keys, and he said he wasn't even worried about it. I was like, hey, while I'm here, I'll register your key. But I think this is a little bit over my head at this point. I don't want to, what I don't want to do is end up resetting his anti-theft system and then none of the keys working. So we're just going to leave it at that. They've got 3 keys. I'll tell them, hey, just put this one up. Don't use it. They could take it to the dealership or an automotive locksmith who specializes maybe in resetting stuff. I guarantee you I could learn how to do this. I just don't want to learn on this customer's vehicle. So we'll call it good with that. They've got the other 3 keys that work. It's running right now. And just a weird case of, again, the exact same scenario where we showed up and they had just been using the wrong key. But you wouldn't know that, you know, the key, it sounds like it's trying to turn it on. You know, if you weren't thinking about it, you would just think, hey, you know, something's wrong. So anyways, we'll get over there, do that brake job, and we'll call this a job well done. All right, well, that's funny that it was so exactly the same as that other job. Yeah, thanks to that scan tool I have, man, that's twice that I've had that same thing. I probably would have figured it out this time if I could have got a glimpse of one of those codes, but no way I figured it out last time without my nice scan tool. So check that out in the link in the description down below if you're interested in the scan tool. All the tools I use are down there. I'll put the scan tool at the top since that's the rescuer of the day, and we'll go do that brake job. That big old truck with the trailer back there and the guy working on the sidewalk are blocking the driveway I need to get into, so I'm trying not to be an inconvenience to him and asking him to move. He also has his wheelbarrow like taking up the whole area there, because I would rather just park kind of where that wheelbarrow is. So maybe I'll just ask him, I can kind of sneak in there between them and just, well, I can't really carry stuff across that wet sidewalk either. We'll see. I'll show you what happens, what I figure out how to get parked up in there and get, I mean, I could carry tools over there. I'd just rather get close if I can. So we'll see what happens. This tire's not turning at all. It's supposed to. So it may be that it has a drum inside of it. I'm gonna go check that parking brake. It's helpful for taking it off, but I'm not gonna be able to get that rotor off if it's got something like that, and I can actually tell from here. That parking brake sets the caliper here, so that's one way to get that rust off. Pull your parking brake and drive around with it for a bit. Also a good way to boil your brake fluid, so don't do that, but we'll go and set that so we can take this apart, otherwise we'll be fighting with it forever. Found out why this side was so much more worn out than the other. Well, the rust was the main issue, but we have one of these pins that seized up, so I'll see if I can get that loosened up. It should unscrew. Well, at least it's got a head so you can hold that while you screw it in, so you should be able to put a 17mm wrench on there and break it loose, assuming it's not just completely seized up. And it's this one here. You can see this one slides in and out. This one's stuck, so get this old rotor off. Probably have to tap on it a bit. No screws holding in, that's nice. There it goes. Sometimes you can screw those in with pliers though. Let me see if I can get a pair of pliers to just fit in there and screw. And they make these little cubes that you can use with a normal wrench that are real easy. I'm gonna just get one of those for the Rescue Ranger. I forgot about this style thing when I was getting my tools because I hardly ever do brakes like this, but typically they're loose enough to where you can get a pair of pliers in there. There we go, just twist them. I think that'll work here. All right, let's get the rotor on, and we've got that pushed all the way in, spun all the way in, I should say, both. And we'll get the bracket back on there, new pads. And we'll see if we can get this unstuck, but we'll do that after we put this on. I should be able to put a wrench on there and see if I can turn it, pull it off, clean it up with some wire brushes, put some nice new lubricant on that. I haven't filmed a brake job in a while, but this is my little patented rotor cleaning method right here. Put it on backwards, clean the backside first. Like that. And spin it around. You don't have to follow around with it on the ground. We don't even have the screws for that. Last person replaced it. Didn't leave the screws behind for us, but no big deal. Oh, these pads are stuck in there too. All right, just come out though. Here we go. All right, here's that pin that's stuck. I'm just trying to loosen it up little by little. Like this, it's starting to come. Let's get it working. A mí no me quisieron ayudar. ¿Viste? A mí no, me miraron y no dijeron nada.
Qué malo.
Sí, ¿viste? All right, that's dirty. Get some new grease on that, lots of it. Put that all the way in. Somebody used anti-seize on these last time they replaced the brakes. You're supposed to use like a brake lubricant or a silicone paste, which is what I'm using here, but that was definitely the issue. Anti-seize tends to harden up over time. So you want to use the right stuff for that. Same deal, wear indicator in the back. Since you can't see those, you can readily look in and see the front usually. You can't ever really get a visual on the back, so I like to put the wear indicator back there in case something happens. All right, let's put this tire back on. We're done over here.
Sí, güey, tengo 5 llaves mañana temprano a las 9, güey. Sí, güey. Sí, pero mañana, güey. ¿Cuánto ya?